What up, y'all? Tina here. So I was working today when the Jonathan Majors verdict was announced. So I didn't get a video out much earlier. So y'all are probably viewing this video the day after the verdict came out. But you all watching, I appreciate you rocking with me. But as you all know, Jonathan Majors was convicted of 2 of his charges. The first one was reckless assault. The second one was second-degree harassment. And he immediately lost his job with Marvel. So yesterday wasn't a good day for my boy. Listen, I wasn't surprised from the verdict. I'm from the deep, deep South, so we see these types of cases all day, every day. We've probably had family members go through it. I've had a couple family members go through it, so the verdict wasn't surprising to me. Plus, I kind of predicted they would get him on the 2 lesser charges.
I don't believe he broke her finger, but this is how the legal system works. They're going to charge him high on that. And they might be okay and be like, you know what? We might not get that one, but we might get these other 2. You might get the harassment charges.
That's a very strategic thing that prosecutors do a lot. They charge high and they be like, you know, we might not get the high charges, but we'll take the 2 lower because all they're worried about is a conviction rate. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I've said for months now that count number 4, which was the charge of him putting her back in the car, that was always the charge that I was concerned about because, one, we have video evidence of him doing it, so it's kind of hard to turn your head and look the other way at that one. Now, his only way of getting around that harassment charge, which was the charge of him picking her up, putting her back in, and keeping her in, the only way he could have got away with that is if his lawyer would have argued, hey, he's doing this for her safety. He's trying to keep her in the car for her safety. His lawyer didn't do a good job of hammering that home. You got to keep drilling that home. Keep drilling it home. You got to then go in on her mental state. Look, she just saw a text that she thought was infidelity and she immediately went crazy. The driver said she went crazy. So Jonathan Majors was trying to be a good Samaritan to keep her in the car so she wouldn't get hit by traffic. That's what the defense should have been. And I'm just so, I can't believe it. I cannot believe that was not the defense. In this trial, the defense was the police are racist and Grace is a drunk, which those 2 things may be true. She's allegedly a drunk. I don't want to call that lady a drunk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get no lawsuit. But you could have talked about those 2 things, but when you knew what his charges were and you knew there was one charge that was specific to him picking her up, putting her in the car, you should have argued. It was for safety. They dropped the ball on that. How do y'all feel about the way Jonathan Majors' lawyers handled this case? Just drop your comments. Tell me how you feel. Now, I don't know how he got convicted of reckless assault. I have no idea how they convicted him on the breaking of the finger and the laceration in the back of the ear because to me, there was so much reasonable doubt that that injury did not occur in that car. So much doubt. We have no idea where that injury came from. I don't know how they got him on that one. That one was crazy. So they essentially said, hey, he did not mean to break her finger, so we're not going to get him on assault 1, but we are going to get him on maybe he did break her finger and cut her in the back of the ear when he snatched her phone back. Maybe he did that recklessly. Crazy charge. So where does that leave Jonathan Majors? He needs to take a break. You know, you got to go sit down for a while. He needs to take care of his mental health because this is tough. Have you ever been fired from a job before? It's tough. It's tough when you lose your job. And he didn't just lose one job. He may have lost his whole budding career. You know, that's a lot for one person to deal with, especially when you're probably the breadwinner of the family. He probably bought his mama a house, bought his granny a house, and you're anticipating you're about to have all these millions of dollars, and now it's just gone. So he needs to go take care of his mental health, okay? It's obvious him and her were in a very toxic relationship, and they both probably are traumatized. And nobody never talks about how traumatic it is to go to jail and go through trial. It's a very stressful situation. I've never been to jail. I've never went to trial, but just me covering this trial has been stressful. So I know it's been a lot on him. But it's not the end, Jonathan, all right? It's not the end. You may have to start over and work your way back up to the top. You might have to go and work in some plays. You might need to hit Tyler Perry up and no, don't hit Tyler Perry. You can't hit Tyler Perry up for no job right now. Don't hit Tyler Perry up for no job. Hit up 50 Cent. 50 Cent is an executive. Hit up 50. Maybe you can go over there to the Power Universe or the BMF Universe. Call 50 Cent in about a year and get a job, my boy. Hopefully he gets his mental health taken care of, man. It's never the end of the world until it's the end of the world. But he can always bounce back. He claims to be a Christian and a God-fearing man. So go to church, pray about it, and hopefully we see you soon in the future. Now, where does that leave Kang and Marvel? I don't know. I don't know what them boys gonna do over there. A part of me feels like they should just recast Kang, stick this storyline out, see this through, go out there and find some other talented Black actors, let them pick up the baton and finish this multiversal saga. Don't just toss it. Another part of me feels like they just may not want to continue with Kang because unfortunately, when you think of the character Kang right now, there's this aura of Jonathan Majors around it. So they may feel like, hey, I don't want to answer these Jonathan Majors questions. I don't want to put an actor through answering questions about Jonathan Majors and Kang, even though there's always ways to work around that publicly. Like, they can handle this. But do they want to go through that extra energy to deal with everything around Kang? I don't think they want to do it. I think they should put their big boy panties on and just recast them and see this stuff to the end. Now, some people are very hype and they see the doorway for Dr. Doom to come in. Now, I know a lot of you guys want Dr. Doom, but I just feel like Dr. Doom is such a good character. You want him done the right way. You don't want to watch Fantastic Four and then the next movie is Avengers Secret Wars Part 1 and Dr. Doom is there. I feel like we want to build and grow with Dr. Doom. I don't want to see him shoehorned in. That's why they need to finish this Kang thing. When you do Doom, you want an actor, talented actor, someone you can give this role to and they can just own it. Now, I do think Jonathan Majors and the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman has scared the hell out of Marvel. I think they are frightened to bet the house on another actor in the same way that they did RDJ, because before Chadwick passed away, they was going to put all the money into Chadwick. You lose Chadwick, and then you have Jonathan Majors walk through your door, and you're like, hey, we're going to give him all the money. We're going to let him do everything, and then you end up in this mess. So I don't know how they feel about putting all the chips on Dr. Doom. I don't know. But whoever gets the role for Doom, I want them to really own that role. And I want them to really bring that character to life. It has to be somebody dynamic, but not dynamic in a flashy way. I'm talking about a real actor. So they're in a tough spot between Kang and Dr. Doom. I say you stick to your guns and you see this multiversal storyline to the end and you just handle Kang, bring somebody else in. Better believe Disney, Marvel, they've been working on alternate pathways on how to handle this Kang situation. They have 3 different options. They already had an option on if he's innocent, we're going this way. They had an option on if he's guilty, we're going this way. And then they had option number 3, if he's guilty, we could go this way. So they got options. Tell me, how do you guys feel about the verdict? How do y'all feel about Kang possibly being recasted? And how do you guys feel about bringing Dr. Doom in? Once again, to all my new subscribers who came aboard because of the Jonathan Majors case, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. A lot of my content here is going to be Marvel content, House of the Dragon, Interview with the Vampire, and I might still dibble and dabble into court cases. Those things are kind of interesting, but thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.